What's up, you guys? FSC Trucking. I promised I'd get videos done as quick as I could. We're going to start working on Orwell today. Sadly, today it's going to be basically all by myself. You got to bear in mind, Maggie and Dave work here part-time. They have full-time jobs. So today they're unavailable. So today I'm going to start putting the stack stands on. Now, bear in mind, all the welding is done at least on the stack stands themselves, but the battery box we still have to do. Those tabs right here, I'll show you. This would hold the battery box up. This has to be raised up, and I know how I'm going to do it, but we're going to weld it on site. A lot of it is these bolts are stuck, and I have to torch them out. And if you look over there, I really don't want to mess with a blowtorch if I can avoid it. Plus, the green APU utilizes the same bolts as the battery box mount, so if I cut it, actually no, if I weld a piece here flush higher with that same dimension and drill holes, should work just fine. Now the stack stands are done. I painted them yesterday. I kind of hurried them along with, and I got corrected on it. I called it a UV light or an ultraviolet. It's whatever. It's this yellow thing here. It force dries paint. So I used that yesterday a little bit. It sped up the process. So here you go. Here's the finished product of the stack stands. To be honest, I'm not that thrilled with the way some of the paint came out, only in the fact that I didn't grind the mill scale off. I used a wire wheel, and you can still see marks from the old thing there, but that's going to be painted. You still read the Made in USA and all that on there, but that's going to be covered up anyway. It's fully painted, so I'm not really worried about it. Besides, this is all the original stuff too. It's pretty pot marked up and not in the best of shape as far as metal goes, but that's all right. It's functional, it's solid. I'm happy with it. So that's what we're going to run with. I'm not looking for absolute perfection. I'm looking for functionality. Now the fun part's going to be getting it up on there by myself. Last few times I had Maggie or Dave to help me with it, and now I'm all by my lonesome. So I'll have to figure out a way to get it up, mount it up there, hold it in, get the bolts in, get them threaded. Maybe I'll use a cherry picker on that. I'm not sure. Now, as far as the engine goes, I still have to deal with those stuck head bolts. A lot of guys say try welding a nut to the stuck bolt. That might work. We were trying to drill them out with left-handed bits. Dave had a kit, but the one bit we needed was dull. I can't sharpen them with my drill doctor unless I have a left-handed drill chuck, which I don't have. So we ordered a whole new set, and won't be here till end of the week. And Dave won't be here till end of the week anyway, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. I might mess with it myself, I might not. But as of this point, I really don't know. But without it, I'm not going to run the engine. But I have to run the exhaust, put the battery box on, put heat shielding, whatever need be. So right now, we're just going to mock up the exhaust, figure out what all we need, go get it, and keep working. However, with all that being said, by the end of this video, we will have stacks on the truck, and we'll be able to see what it looks like, finished product. Alrighty, boys and girls, I've got it strapped up with a motorcycle strap. I've used these to tie bikes down in the bed of the pickup. But now I'm just going to use that to hold it in place like it bolted on. Hopefully I get enough lift out of it. Now I did get all new grade 8 bolts for it. I'm using grade 8 hardware, and usually what you do is you take your flat washer, put it through, then your lock washer, and then your nut. Trouble is, in the recess where the bolts go through, there's no room for that. So I'm reversing it, and I'll show you why. So the bolt, lock washer, I know it's a little backwards, but a lock washer is better than no washer, because the original bolts had like a flatter, almost like a washer built into it. I don't have enough of those from Peterbilt. I'm not buying them from Peterbilt. I don't know if they make them. Then we're putting a flat washer, and then we're putting our nut. Now the reason why this nut is it's a mechanical, what I call mechanical lock nut. So it's not like a Nylox where that nylon piece can get old and brittle. This one's mechanically just peeing over a thread. That way it won't loosen up as you drive. That's how we're bolting down. Now this is where most of you are going to cringe, but that's part of the game. This is what they call the spool. I don't know who came up with the terminology, but nonetheless it's a terminology they used. This indented piece goes into the stack. Think of it. It actually stands up on a normal one. It'll stand up like this. This goes into the elbow. Otherwise the exhaust flow, if it was the other way around, was flowing this way, the exhaust would try to sneak out this direction. They want the exhaust this way, so the exhaust gets funneled in, but these are the bevels. That's how it works. That's the way they prefer, at least with the stacks, right? However, this is a spool, the centerpiece, it's too long. So what we're gonna do is, this piece goes into the elbow, just like this, because the exhaust goes up, obviously. And the stack, the straight piece, I believe that would be called the barrel, or just the stack, would go up over this. But this is too long. I've got to cut it. Now I already cut the other one, and I marked it. So what I did, to prevent anything from damaging the chrome, granted the band clamp grabs here, what I did was I marked it with a Sharpie pen. That way I know where to cut it. It's my Sharpie. So what I'll do is I'll just color in the lines. Now I measured it with a tape measure, obviously, each little line is the easiest way to do it. At least for the tools I have here. It'd have been nicer if I had a bandsaw that could cut it, you know, this wide, but rather than risk it, I put a cutoff wheel and a grinder. It doesn't have to be exact. Now, there's another concern that I have, is that you want to protect the edges, because this edge is chromed and this edge is chromed, not the side, the end. It chromed on both sides. It keeps it from rusting. But what do you do with the end that I cut? And everybody tells me, from the chrome shop to Maggie to Dave, I've never heard of this. Clear nail polish. Yeah, clear nail polish. I bought some. Where did I put it? Right here. I literally just bought this today. Clear nail polish. I don't know if Jen had enough, so yeah, it's nail polish in the shop. That's not expected. So anyway, clear nail polish. They say this will, either that or everyone's playing a joke on me and YouTube is going to have a field day with me. Leave a comment on what you think. But this will keep that coated and survive the heat of the exhaust. Now granted, it's not the, you know, the 900,000 could be temperature coming out of the turbo. I mean, you really shouldn't let them get that high anyway. At 900, you really ought to start pulling out of it. But obviously the exhaust is a lot cooler by the time it gets this far downstream. But I didn't want it to rust and then stain the pipes. I know it sounds silly, right? Because in the end, the way it's looking weather-wise, by the time this truck is getting ready to fire, we got another snowstorm coming here, so I don't know if it's going to be a big one or not. But anyway, clear nail polish, they say that's how to treat the ends before I put them together. So, okay, that's what they say. I have to use my rusty trusty motorcycle strap. This will tie the stack to the horses. Alrighty, so now what I have to do is set this to grind mode, because the sparks will fly. Even with regular safety glasses, it's still a lot of sparks, it's hard to see. So what I did is I put a cutting wheel on the grinder, my not Lamborghini grinder. Gotta watch the other video, I'll let Maggie explain the difference between grinders. Here we go. You know what? Them sparks get mighty hot. I'll let you wear gloves this time. Everybody made a comment the other day about, I had a couple comments on me laying tack welds without gloves. First of all, I was just laying tack welds, number one. Number two, burns make thick skin. Thick skin means you can't feel the burn, only smell it. That's the scrap end, that's the good end. All right, boys and girls, now I've read the comments, okay? Let's get real around here. This next step, very dangerous, very dangerous. So, let's make sure I get the helmet on. We need our gloves. I don't have a welding smock, so this towel that I use to not get my truck seats all dirty, that'll keep anything from getting on my arms or my chest. So should be ready to go, because you know, some of you guys on the comments, you guys are really worried about safety, whether I wear gloves to tack weld or this, that, or the other, because this is such a super important part of the job. Must be very, very careful. Safety first. I'm going to put the nail polish on the corners. Oh, great. I forgot a respirator. Damn, all that work for nothing. Alrighty, so now I'm going to kind of put the elbow onto the spool. I'm going to do it upside down. I already put the towel on the floor there. I'll stand up straight like that and grab the elbow. There's a piece of tape on the elbow right there. You see the yellow. I marked where on there the clock position for the clamp. That way I can go ahead and, once this is done, I can set it on the horses, and then I can put the clamp on it and position it proper so it'll bolt onto the stack stand exactly how it was earlier. There we go. We'll put the clamp on it, but we're not going to cinch down on it until after it's actually mounted on the truck. But that's how we got it. Want that one tight because it's got to hold it up. Perfect. Starting to look like something, don't it? That's the idea. There we are. I'll have a very tall step ladder. Oh, I got to reset high. Whew! Maybe I'm just not used to seeing Orwell with the stacks in here anymore, but man, oh man, why does that look too tall? Lord, I hope I didn't mess up somehow. 13.4½. Yikes, that's scraping the top. That's scraping the trees. I can afford to bring it down about a 1/2 inch. Wowie. That looks good though, don't it? Now let's go the other way. Oh, like I could read up there. Maybe. $13.4-ish. Now that I have a little more clue on the easiest method. Easiest. I didn't say easy. Now that there's exhaust pipes to dangle in front of me, getting up here isn't the easiest thing anymore. There we go. Loosen these up as loose as they go. I think the pipe may have to come up a little, because this isn't, it's close. I mean, it would work. But I'm gonna final measure it off the frame, not off the ground. This is not an exact concrete ground, you know, it's not, I mean, it's pretty level, you know, reasonably, but it's not, you know, dead on accurate level. So best thing to do is measure it off the frame with a big square. I have a T-square to do it just fine. Once each side's even, then that's where we're gonna leave it. Just like the last time. Drop it over the top. May have to come up just to be able to mount it. That's fine. I didn't expect it to go on first time, you know, just to, you gotta put everything on slightly loose and then get all your bolt holes lined up. Get everything on and then tighten it. Especially a kit like this. I mean, is it even a kit? I mean, think about it. Define kit. I had to modify it. That's custom work for you though. Another trick I did is I drilled the holes oversized so there's a little bit of slop in the mount. That way you can move it as needed. Alrighty, up we go. Let's turn the ceiling fan off. There's going to be a conflict there. You can tell that already. it clears, truck always cleared the fan. Well, at least they used to. If it don't, we're taking the fan down. Oh, brother. Oh man, I'm sorry. Wow. I don't even know what to say about that, boys and girls. That's as low as that goes. It might be a little tall. I did not expect clearance issues from that fan. So I think that fan is actually 13.6-ish. $13.4. Yikes. Can't make that up. So, well, clears the fan, that's good. Landlord's gonna move the fans up higher anyway. It became a clearance issue with the cabs going up. That way I could bring Orwell back a little bit more when tilting the cab. But we'll do this side and that side. He'll take care of that when I'm on the road. Yeah, so now I have to just put something to measure them on to see how they, now I just have to use a square to measure the height to get the height exactly where I want it. But this stand, just from the seam up top, I'd rather the stack be a little taller. So if anything, I'll raise this one, not lower the other. But pretty close. I'll know when I go through the first scale with a height detector. I probably could just measure right off the stands on the tabs where I mounted the mounts to, but I'd rather get it direct from the frame should it be any difference in, well, anything for that matter. $119 3/4. $119 3/4 is what the other one was. That's when I get a little taller because the damned fan ain't in the way. $120.5. Now what we want to do is raise this up 3/4 of an inch. And I don't want to have it twist either when I do it. So what we're going to do is mark it with tape. I'll mark this here right at the seam of the clamp and the spool itself. As it goes up, it'll leave a blank spot where there's no tape. Measure that to 3/4 of an inch. This one here, I want to mark the clock position. Put it right on the seam of the clamp, there to there. The other side I marked A, so I'll mark this side B, just in case for whatever reason I have to take it back off. Put a line, the lines match up. See, perfect. So now, when I loosen this, I'll be able to measure up. The other trick I could do, get it close. Another trick I could do is I can measure 3/4 of an inch with the next piece of tape. There we go. Right there. So I'll mark it where my fingerprint is, right there. Measure there. Okay. So now we go up with it, bring it to there. Once again, just double check our measurement. What I'm doing, I don't put it that way, although you could. I usually set it right out there, although there is a reason why that's loose. That's why, that you're pulling it. It does away with the thickness of the tab. But, I don't know, I always taught, that's what my dad always showed me, I do it. It's more accurate that way, I think. As if it matters to the millimeter. There we go. So now, loosen them up, and I got the entire weight of the entire stack on this clamp right now, so let's pull the ladder out of the way. Perfect. Oh, it moved. Leave the ratchet dangle this time. That's good. Whew. That's heavy. That is heavier than you think it would be. Yeah. Alrighty, boys and girls. So now what I'm going to do is lower the cab down. You already saw the other side, how it clears by about an inch. That's what I'm hoping for on this side. Cab jack's on that side. You'll be over here watching. If it gets too close, holler. Make sure you holler loud enough so I can hear you. Heater just fired up. How are we looking over here? Looking good or no? So clear. I'll set my angles. That's just a heater. Yeah, it's tape at the market. I got no room to work. Oh, so careful. There we go.